Hello, good evening and welcome to New Forest Morphs. My beautiful daughter Emily is joining me tonight. Jared's away for the long bank holiday weekend. It's the 28th of May 2023 and clutch number 3 has landed. And that's the clutch. So we've got the bamboo girl, which is Panda, and she's your snake, Emily, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
She gave you 4 eggs last time, 2 years ago. So she's had a year off and now she's built up to 3 kilograms. She's hopefully going to give us a nice clutch. And we put her to Casper, who was a bamboo Mojave 100% Het Ultramel. We'll just show you the daddy. So here's Casper, and he's a first time daddy. This is his first ever clutch, and he's just taking a bath at the moment. Isn't he beautiful? So that's a blue-eyed Lucy. And we're hoping to make half of the clutch should be bells, super bamboos 50% het for ultramel, and possibly bamboo Mojave 50% het for ultramel. So we won't know the difference between the two, Emily, so the only way to find out is to breed with them and prove them out, but half the clutch should be bells. Now let's get Panda out. So if we see where she is over here, so let's have a little look at her. Oh, she's on a tower of eggs there, look at her, isn't she beautiful? So I think there's probably quite a few eggs in there. So I'm just going to remove the water from her to start with. And we'll put that into her new rub, which I've got a nice clean rub ready for her to go into. And isn't she looking lovely? Now, I need to be careful lifting her hair. So isn't that a beautiful tower? Isn't that lovely? Now, I've got I use a little roll here just in case she does try to come at us. So if I just tap her slightly on the head there. There we go. There we go, babies. And then I'm going to just try to take her tail. You have been a good mummy, haven't you been a good mummy? And then we just pull her tail from the back. And then we can uncoil her like that and just see how many eggs we've got. There we go, we'll put her in here. Good girl. And let's just check, see if she's empty. She looks empty. So we'll just slip her in there. Well done, Panda. How many eggs have we got there, Emily? Can you see?
Got a whole lot.
Sorry?
We've got quite a lot.
She was a very good mummy. Any slugs?
No. I can see 7.
7 good eggs?
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
Might be one under.
That's 3 improvement on the last one. And I knew that she was going to give us eggs because yesterday she was going onto her side and she's been on the warm spot. So we've got, let's have a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 eggs actually, Emily. So she's doubled her size clutch from last time. So 8 good eggs, no slugs, and we've had no slugs this season so far. So we're delighted with how things are going for this season. So let's get the egg box out. So we've just have to bring that out. And the clutch that we cut 2 days ago are starting to come out now. Just have a switch around here. I've checked the temperature on the incubator. We've got 89 degrees holding beautifully, which is perfect. And you can see that some of the lemon blasts have already started to come out here. So let's have a quick look and see how they're doing. So there's at least, well there we go, there's 3 that have come out of their eggs so far. And aren't they beautiful? Look at the lovely oranges, and the lemon blasts are absolutely delightful. And we've got the 2 bananas are still in their eggs, and then we've got this one here, which is another lemon blast that isn't ready to come out yet. Aren't they beautiful, Emily?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll leave them in the incubator until they've all come out of their eggs, and I've set up a shedding rub for them. So when they're all out, we'll put them into the shedding rub, and I've got that all set to go. So it's a question of being ahead of ourselves. So you can see there's a lot of preparation, but with preparation things go smoothly. So put these back in the incubator, and then let's lift those eggs. And let's put those in there. Wonderful. Right, we're not going to separate these eggs, Emily. We're going to leave them as they lay, and hopefully they'll fit in here. So we prepared this about a week ago, and we just make sure the humidity is good in there, and we've got some extra water in there that we can top up if it isn't enough. But let's just see if these eggs will come up nicely for us. So, oh, that is lovely. I mean, she's literally just laid them and they're coming out beautifully. Look how easy that is, Emily. How easy that was to lift those eggs. And I'll just check to make sure there's no paper underneath. I like to remove all the paper. And she's glued them together nicely. Let's get rid of that paper. And that is a lovely, seriously lovely clutch. Let's see whether we can get those in and whether we can shut the lid on them. That's the ideal scenario. So as long as it doesn't touch the lid, we should be okay.
Don't know if it will.
But I think it's going to be tight. So we might have to just take, either we can push it down, which is another way of doing it.
I reckon you have to take off
Or
at least the top one.
We might have to take off
Just those two.
two of the top. Now, I'm just trying to wonder whether I can actually get it down any lower, because it's not that far. It would be nice to keep them together. So if I do, now it's
Touching them.
so I think we're going to have to take two off the top. So let's do that very carefully. She's certainly built up a beautiful tower, so 8 good eggs. And what I might be able to do is actually remove this one as a pair. If I can remove them as a pair, that would be ideal. And that might be the way to do it, and leave 2 together, and then 6 as a bunch and 2 as a bunch is what I'd like to do. But they feel very leathery, and we can candle them as well. So let's just see if I can ease these 2 off. You've got to be careful when you're easing these off, because the one thing you don't want to do is actually rip the eggs. And they are nicely glued together. So let's see whether we can gently ease these off. So with 8 eggs, we should get 4 bells from this. That's what we're hoping. These are seriously well glued together, Emily. She's done a good.
Do my nail.
Sorry?
Do my nail to.
I wonder whether I should actually try and separate the 2 on the top, but they're so beautifully done. The other option I've got is, rather than separate them, is lower the amount of vernicumite. Actually, what I might do, just try a slightly different approach. I can just move that over there, and then if I can just create a little bit more of a curve or groove in the bottom, and just press that out a little bit. It might be the way to do it, and then just get them sitting a little bit lower. Could be the way to go. Not ideal, but that might be another possible solution, is just to take a little bit off the bottom and see whether that would help.
Take it off?
Sorry?
Do you want me to try and take one of the eggs off?
I'm going to just try this approach first. If that doesn't work, then we will try to separate them, but I would like to try and keep them together if we can. And I think by actually getting them lower, it's tricky, isn't it?
So they are right on there as well?
Sorry?
Are they all right on there?
Yeah, they're okay on there, yes. Yeah. So I think what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to see whether we can actually lower these down a little bit. And I might have to just pour a little bit of water in there from the incubator as well. So she's built quite a tower there. So we're just going to try this approach. Just put a little bit more water in there just to get some more humidity in there. Oh yeah, that should help a little bit. Let's try this again now, see whether we can get this to work. Right, so this one down first. So I'm going to have to get that down quite deep. And get that one into the depths. So it's going to take just a little bit of time. Thank you, Emily, for being patient.
That's alright.
Some of these things you can't always predict how that's going to turn out, but we do the best we can, and then we put those on top, which hopefully will allow us to have just that little bit of a curvature in the bottom, which hopefully that they'll sit in there and hopefully it will close. If not, we'll have to separate. So let's just try.
Do you need to take it off?
Yeah, you can take that off for me. So still, I think it's still going to be struggling, isn't it?
Yeah. I can try to take it off.
Oh, let's just see whether this will work now. So we are only just touching. We're trying to avoid touching if we
I'll
can.
just take the top one off.
Well, let me just move these down a little bit further, and maybe that would just help to. Let's see whether that's going to be. They're touching now.
Still touching.
Still touching.
Yeah.
It's only just, isn't it? Just on the top there. Let me just. Oh, this is taking.
Let me have a look.
this is taking a little bit harder than we expected. So I wonder whether we can actually separate these. We could try. And
You only
separate.
need to do the top one.
It's the top one, isn't it? They're so well cemented together. I just don't want to run the risk of actually tearing an egg, and that's why I was trying to keep them
I could
together.
potentially get my nail under it without splitting it.
Well, let's just see if we can ease them off. It's not easy because the eggs are well and truly cemented in, so it's a tricky one. Oh, it's coming, it's coming. I have to just gently ease it off. So there's one that's come off. And then if we can ease that one off. So thank you for your patience, Emily, and thank you everyone for being patient with us. So let's see whether we can just gently ease these out. And I think we could do with slightly bigger boxes to accommodate for such clutches, because we don't like to separate them if we can get away with it. But this one is gently coming. They're quite leathery, they're quite tough. They're tougher than what we think they are, but I still want to go carefully just in case, because I don't want to rip an egg. So the last thing we want to do is rip an egg. And if you do rip an egg, there are some things that you can do to repair an egg, and you can use what they call Scotch tape. But here we go, this one's just about there now. Almost there. There we go, that one's off 2 eggs, so it's just this one to ease now. So we can ease this off. And there's one stuck, actually she's stuck to 3 eggs. So the one we're trying to remove is stuck to 3 eggs, and that's why we're struggling to do this.
Do you want to just see if I can do it easier?
It's okay, Emily, we're getting there. The humidity in here is quite, sorry, but the humidity in here is so high as well that poor Emily, she's probably overheating. So 73% humidity today. Okay, here we go. This is coming now. I've never had to remove 4 eggs from one egg before. 4 sides to one egg. It's normally 1 or 2, but the one at the top, she's built quite a tower. She was certainly beautifully towered up. Right, here we go. Almost there. So once we get this one off, hopefully we can just get the one off the bottom, and then we've got the 1 egg, which hopefully will come off. So let's see if we can ease this one off the bottom eggs carefully. And I think we will have 1 separate egg on its own. I was trying to do it as a pair, but I think the reality is I think we're going to end up with 1. But it's this is the most challenging egg removal I've had to deal with, but we've successfully done it. And I'll slip that one in there now, so that can go in there. And then should we see, are we okay, Emily? Do you think we're okay? There's no tears there.
So, that one's too high now, but
should we see if that will close? If it will close, which I think it will. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got there in the end. So anyway, before we do it, let's candle. So if you can actually just switch the lights off, Emily. Or I'll switch the lights off. If you can get a nice close-up picture of everything. And I'll switch the lights off. Right, hopefully they've got strong veins. We shall see. Okay. Can you see any veins in there?
Yeah.
I can see the embryo. Veins. Veins.
All I can see is your picture.
Sorry. Can you see any veins in that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see any veins in that one?
Yeah.
Can you see any veins in the top one?
Yeah.
And any veins in this one?
Yeah, I think so.
And come around the back.
Yeah.
Veins? I'm not going to be able to get to the middle one, but I can get to that one. Can you see any veins?
One.
Veins?
Yeah.
And then this one here.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I think they've all got veins, which is great. Just put the lights back on. Wonderful. Right, so I think we got there in the end. Thank you everyone for bearing with us, but when you're shooting a live uncut video, that's the nature of the beast. So I'm just going to clean the lid, make sure they're all good to go. There's good humidity in there. 89 degrees is the temp in the incubator. So I think we can now put them in safely, and we'll monitor them over the next few days, make sure they're all good. Seal those off. We don't use press and seal, we basically use these special self-sealing units. Now if you look carefully, you can see there's a seal all around the edge, and Jad has drilled a couple of small holes in between, and I think they should be good. So let's put those in the incubator, and then I've just got one final thing to share. So let's put those in, and we've put the clutch card with them as well. So they'll be due on the 23rd of July 23, Emily. We'll put those in. Lovely. So with 3 clutches, 2 7s and an 8 with no slugs, that is 22 eggs produced. 1 roll off which didn't go round, but very particularly well, so we're doing pretty well. So just to finish the video, you can see there's lots of pairings around here that are going on at the moment. So we're in May, but we've got some girls that are building. We do have another female that's going to lay for us shortly, which is Toast, and I'll just show you where she is. She's over here, Emily. let's have a quick look and see how she's doing. So you can see she's due in the next week or so. So she's nesting up and she's on the hot spot. And she gives us big clutches, and she's given us 2 back-to-back clutches over the last 2 years. We've got some banana cinnamons coming, which will be hopefully with some orange dream in there as well, and pastel. So that's an exciting project to look forward to. I hope everyone else is having a wonderful season. And you can see we've got all these pairs at the moment. There's about 10 other pairs that we're pairing in the hope that we can get some late clutches. And just wanted to share with you my 2 salmon I've caught this year. The first one was quite a big fish. I don't know whether, Emily, you can zoom out on that one. That's a 24-pound hen fish. It's an Atlantic salmon, caught on the Hampshire Avon. And I caught that one in April. And I caught a second one in May, which I've got a picture of that one, slightly smaller, but you can see that that's a cockfish, and that's about 13 pounds. So for any of the people out there that like to enjoy a bit of fishing, I just thought I'd share that with you. Emily, is there anything you would like to share at all?
Nope.
No? I think Emily's looking forward to getting back in the house, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I hope everyone else is beginning to see the fruits of their labours. It's lovely. We put a lot of work into raising these animals, and this is the fun part now, when the eggs start coming. And this is our 3rd proper year, really, isn't it, Emily? And it's lovely because in the first year, you know, we make a lot of mistakes. We end up with a lot of slugs. We end up with issues that are quite challenging. But as we get more experience, and we can measure the follicle size, and we can measure the females and make sure that they're nice and healthy and strong before we pair them, we're finding that the number of slugs and the number of issues declines, and I think that comes with experience. So don't worry if you're experiencing slugs or you're experiencing some issues in your first year or 2, because that's part of the norm. But as we get more experience, we learn how to pair, and we learn how to prepare, and yeah, it's going really well. So thank you very much for your love and support. Everyone have a wonderful extended long weekend, and we shall catch you next time. Bye bye.